Hey, hope everyone's good. Back with another live stream today. I'm gonna pull up the to-do list here. So, yesterday, what did we do? So this wasn't on yesterday's stream, but it was on the stream before. And if you're unfamiliar with the channel, we do a lot of vibe coding on this channel live. So if you're interested in vibe coding, you can go check out some of the previous live streams. And we also talk about some AI, high-level AI stuff. If I see any meaningful interviews or meaningful discussions around AI topics that I think are worthy of me mentioning, I like to do that on that channel. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go check out that too. And before we get into the to-do list, go ahead and pull the Twitch chat down here. And then let's make sure we start our X broadcast. Nice. X is here. Broadcast. Let me make sure that the X live stream is up here. It's kind of interesting, but it's a little bit, X is a little confusing. At first, I didn't really understand how to see the X live chat. Let me see. Okay, there it is. Now let me go ahead and post this too. Nice. Okay, I posted it. All right. See if it shows up on the beautiful. I see it now. Okay. So got to find out the best way to kind of monitor that X chat, because right now I don't have a good way to do that. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, first thing I'm going to do is just kind of show you what we're working on. And again, since the X live stream was a bit delayed there, for anyone that's new to the channel, this channel is about vibe coding. And so if you're interested in vibe coding or learning how to vibe code or learning about some of the technologies involved in vibe coding, you can go check out my previous live streams. So we do a lot of vibe coding live on this channel. And then if you're interested in some of the kind of bigger AI topics, some of the higher level AI conversation, I also like to give my commentary on any AI discussions that I think are meaningful. But first off, so this is our telematics video platform. So this is a business that I've had for a while. So this is really any company that has a fleet of vehicles. So it could be a service company, it could be a over-the-road trucking company, could be a last mile distribution company that's doing kind of last mile distribution for Amazon, really anybody. So really anyone that has a fleet of vehicles, we can help you out with a telematics video camera. So that camera goes up on your dash, and that camera not only records the location of the vehicles, but also events. So really it's a safety camera. So we do some edge events, so things like distraction, fatigue, hard braking, quick acceleration, erratic lane departure, hard turn, brake, shock, severe shock. So the camera will trigger those events. Some of those events are at the edge, and there's like a chime notification to the driver. So if driver's fatigued, it'll chime at that driver. And some of those events, like a shock or a hard turn, we ingest those events at our system. So here's the telematics video platform. Basic location tracking, historical location, and just running through at a high level kind of what we've been working on. So you can set up geozones, request footage from cameras, look at reports. So I can run a critical event report. Let's see. So we can look at critical events, and we've been on the last couple of streams, we started working on driver ID. So this is so we can identify who the driver is in the vehicle, right? So, and here's like a DSM fatigue event. Let's see if we can get a good one here. We're actually driving. Driver ID. Okay, so here's a distraction. See if we can get a better look at this. Let's get to... And so here you can see it's really, I turned my head a bit. I have it cranked up, pretty sensitive here. So we did that on stream. I'm not sure if we did that on stream actually, but I did vibe code some of that there that you see. And so if you're interested in kind of, here's the coaching platform. Now, majority of this we did vibe code, or we used AI tools to help us do this. So this is vibe coded. This is our coaching safety platform, and this is really what I'm super excited about. So pretty much when we have these cameras and they start triggering events, right? We know, okay, vehicle 100 just had an event, right? It was a hard brake or a speeding, and we know some context around that event. So using the context that we have available and also the video, that's when we run it through our AI analysis, right? And so we're using some open source models to help us do this AI analysis. And then we're trying to build learning content. And really the idea with the learning content is try to help, fleet managers or anyone that's responsible for the safety of their fleet of vehicles, help them build a safer fleet, right? Or help them operate in a more safe way, right? So this is our telematics video business, and this business is a bit more mature. And we also have alerts, right? So different types of alerts that you can set up, and this is real-time alerts. And so this business is a lot of real-time data, right, with this business. This is another business that we're going to be building together, and this is the name of the channel. And this is what I'm very interested in, is building an agents business, right? So initially I had built voice agents using the OpenAI chained architecture. And when we built that voice agent and I built all those microservices, vibe coded them, and the agent was good. I let a few people try the agent. And the thing with the chained architecture, let's see if OpenAI still has some documentation on it. Okay, so here's the chained architecture. And so I built the agent using this chained architecture, and the agent would make outbound calls. And that was using a Twilio integration. And so I noticed, with Twilio, with the intent classification, so going over the cell network, plus you had this intent classification, then you had the response time from the speech to text, then the text to speech, and that all, had some latency, right? And so I think that I was a little too early for that. But now, as these models are getting more and more intelligent, I know that agents are going to be big, right? So this business, really what this is about is building a cognitive wrapper or a context awareness engine, you could call it, around business workflows. So the original idea is, companies will generate marketing qualified leads, right? So that's really a lead that's been generated through some sort of marketing efforts. And so you generate this marketing qualified lead. And then the idea was, like on a pay-per-click campaign, depending on how high your budget is, or a social media campaign, you can generate lots of leads, right? And not all of these leads are very hot, or they could be just people that are really not interested. They're just fooling around, right? And so what the idea was is when that marketing qualified lead got generated, that we would have a voice agent reach out to that lead immediately. Like as soon as the lead comes in, voice agent reaches out, tries to schedule a demo, right, using the calendar availability. And yeah, I noticed a few things with that, right? The voice agent had some trouble getting some information, especially email addresses, especially people with names, long, complex names, right? And so that's when I thought, okay, well, let me use SMS to try to collect the information. So also using SMS and also like an operator, right? So everyone's used to calling an organization and it says press 1 to go here, press 2 to go here, press 3 to go there, to connect to this representative or this executive. And with a voice agent, you don't need to do that anymore, right? The agent just asks who you want to talk to. It classifies it or matches that up to the actual human, and then it passes it to the human or hands it off to the human. So we'll be working on this telematics video and Blue Cactus. Now, when I come to our notes, let's see. So yesterday, we ran into an issue pretty much. So I had rotated all of the passwords. I had rotated all of those passwords in all microservices, right? Just as a safety precaution. So I rotated passwords for all services, memory database, SQL database. And for one reason or another, I know the reason, but one of the services that was handling the coaching platform. So when you see this coaching platform, this service was trying to log in to the database with the old credentials. And I just want to be open and honest about vibe coding because this happens. But so I guess I had an original Docker file that I had created for that service, and I need to work on this as a security thing too. Is instead of storing variables in the Docker image, there's other ways to do it with the Kubernetes environment. But pretty much, I had an original Docker file, and there was the old password in that Docker file. I guess that Docker file had cached that password at some point, and then I rotated the password, and I used AI tools to modify the Docker file a bit. And I guess the way the Docker file was set up, we were initializing the variables out of scope, and so the image was getting built without those variables in the image. And so that service kept trying to use the old cached password. And it took me a while to understand. Finally, one of the AI models, I think it was Opus, was able to look at the Docker file and realize, hey, these variables are out of scope, right? And we need to move them. And it was literally just moving some variables from the top of the Docker file to the middle of the Docker file. And then those variables were now inside of the image. So today I have a really interesting bug. And, this is kind of the life of coding, and vibe coding's really big right now. It's huge. But as you get customers and build more complex web apps, right, you will encounter issues of regression at sometimes, right? And it could be for all different sorts of reasons. So I just want to give you an inside look into kind of my life as a vibe coder managing a production system. So when I woke up this morning, I immediately, or I had noticed it last night, and I'm still trying to fully understand why, but so in one of the previous streams, I believe we had set up a speeding alert. We had set up a speeding alert. So, and let me just show you this here. So we have these speeding alerts, right? And pretty much I get an email notification anytime there's the vehicle is speeding. So here you can see these are the speeding alerts. And let me just pull this up here. And if I come back to the system and I go to alerts, you can see these are the speeding alerts that we have set up. And now I haven't changed this. If you can see, I stopped receiving, and this is something that I did not notice immediately. And I'm hoping that it's not some vibe coding regression, right? But we're going to figure it out today on stream. So anyways, I stopped receiving, and you can see I was getting these emails consistently, right? If I just type in speeding alert, I was getting these for a long time, right? And all of a sudden, on November 29th, we stopped getting the speeding alert. And so these speeding alerts are still inside of Postgres, right? So if I come run these speeding alerts are inside of the alerts table. And they wouldn't be populating in the front end if they weren't in Postgres, right? So, and this is kind of how this works. So we have a dash camera that's in the field. And let me pull up, we're also using Apache Kafka. Let me see if I can pull this up without revealing any sensitive stuff. Okay, so we use Apache Kafka to distribute the real-time live data, right? So, and we have a few different microservices, and let me see if I can Okay, so these are all of the, and I need to figure out what to do about this too, because when I run git status, this is my parent directory, and I've never had this set up as a git repo. But every single directory inside of this main parent directory is a git repository, right? And so the problem with that is when you're using Cursor, if you want to use the work tree feature so I can run multiple agents at the same time, it has to be a git repo. And also, I need the agent to be able to access each one of these independent services. And so it's nice to have all of the services inside of one directory. And so at some point, I need to make this main directory a git repo, like all of these, and each one of these directories has its own git repository. And that's really good for me, you know, if I hire engineers, or when I hire engineers, you know, you don't want them, sometimes you don't need people to see the entire system end to end, right? And so it's nice to just give them one microservice to work on, or have them spin up a new microservice and just work on that. But for me, you know, I own and run this business, so it's important for me to have, you know, the agent have access to every microservice. So at some point we need to make this a git repo. But anyway, so the way that this works is, so we get live data from the camera, right? So vehicles are moving around on a map, and I can, and hold on, let me make sure I don't reveal anything here. Okay, So yeah, so vehicles are driving around, right? We're ingesting this location data. And the way that, and I'm not showing you Redis, but pretty much the way that the speeding alert works is we have this data inside of the table. So this is Postgres. So that location, and this is a speeding alert for someone that's driving a fleet vehicle, right? So it could be like a plumber driving around going to a service job. And the administrator wants to know, okay, I know that this guy never goes on a road that has a speed limit of like higher than 40 miles per hour. So I know this guy should never go over 40 miles per hour. He never drives on the highway. He should never go over 40. So you could set up a static speeding alert to try to get a notification if he ever goes over that speed limit of 40, right? And so this is Postgres. So that live data comes in. We check Postgres to see, hey, which organization is this device associated with, right? Then once we find the organization, then we look for accounts in that organization. Then we find accounts in that organization that have alerts set up. If they have an alert set up, we get the email address for that alert. Then we send that alert. And we're also using Redis, which is a memory database, with this thing. I think it's TTL, which that acronym stands for time to live. So, and the thing is so if a vehicle goes over 40 miles per hour, it'll drive 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. And you don't want to be getting an alert literally every second, right? So we use Redis with a TTL expiration to pretty much only send, and I forget exactly how it works. I'd have to go look through the code or ask the AI model to tell me, but pretty much we make sure we only send 5 speeding alerts, and they're spread apart, right? So it doesn't bombard the user or the customer. But the idea is, you know, if he's driving over 40 miles per hour for a sustained amount of time, you want to keep getting that notification, but you don't want to get hundreds and hundreds. These devices report almost every second. So you don't want to be getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of notifications. So anyways, this just stopped working. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it stopped working on November 29th, right? And so what am I going to do, and how am I going to think through this? So first thing I'm going to do is let's open up Cursor. Let's see, let's go to... No, we can stay here. Let's just open up Cursor. Okay. So, do a new agent here. We got it open. We're trying out Gemini today. Let's do Gemini 3 Pro. And I'm going to say, we recently implemented a speeding alert. I want you to look for all of the directories inside of this parent directory that have a .git file. Those are all of our services, and they all are individual Git repositories. I want you to go through the Git commit history and start looking for commits that were related to the speeding alert that we implemented. Then I want you to Git show those commits, and I want you to just do some discovery work to try to understand what changes we recently made to implement the speeding alert. The speeding alert was working up until November 29th. I already reviewed the logs in Sleuth looking at the Apache Kafka data, and I can see that my device or my vehicle has been sending valid speed data. So I know that speed data has been accurate, and I have been driving around. And I know for certain that I've been going faster than the thresholds that we have set up. Let's stop it there. Let's shift into debug mode. So let me think about this for a second. I'm going to give my device ID. Say, that is my device ID. I know that we have not made any modifications to the speeding alert. You should be, I want you to go trace this flow yourself, but we get the data at the listener nest, we parse the data, and then we send that data to alerts. And alerts will send, if we identify that the speed is over the speeding threshold, then we send that to the communication service, which sends an email. So I want you to start reviewing this, start looking into the logs. When you look at the logs, there's tons of data in the logs. So I want you to grep relevant data far back into the log. It's kind of a huge prompt, but let's let it rock here. And I kind of butchered that a little bit. I know like which logs to open, and then I need to get in my car and do a small little trip. And then I could just kind of make sure I grep the right stuff in the log and then go from there. Make sure you look at all commits. Don't just look at 10. Look at the last 20. Hey guys, if you're new to the stream, looks like we had a bunch of people pop in here. So this is the platform. It's a telematics video platform. Does location data. This is 3JS on top of Google Maps, so it's 3D mapping, location mapping. And we use Apache Kafka to distribute this real-time live data. We have trips. So if you want to see vehicles and their trips, we have events. So this is DSM distraction. So this is a dash camera in a vehicle. And pretty much it detects events, right, to try to keep drivers safer. And so this is the general idea of the platform. You've got cameras in vehicles. We're tracking location and safety events. We have we can request footage over the air, run reports, set up alerts, right? And then do safety analysis coaching, right? So we get these events, they're safety related events, and then we're building like a safety platform or a safety protocol to try to get as much context as we can about a safety event, and then build learning content and try and predict, unsafe, potentially unsafe drivers, or potentially unsafe, or predict maybe, hey, there's an event might happen, right? So this is the AI analysis. Then we've got event reconstruction, right? So running a 3D simulation. And the idea with this is to eventually try to do some object detections, and then we're going to get these objects maybe inside of this 3D scene. And then we have a report, right? So then we have a worksheet for a driver. So we're getting these safety events, we're trying to do some sort of analysis on them, and then we're building learning content. Now, right now I'm working on a bug, actually. So I have these alerts set up, which are speeding alerts. And any time that I drive past these thresholds, I get an email alert. And so I was getting this email alert for months, right? And this is kind of an example of some potential regression here, and I don't know exactly what happened, but I'm gonna figure it out. But we were getting this alert all the way up, and I'm constantly driving past these thresholds, right? So here's speeding over 35, speeding over 30, speeding over 25, right? And so I'm constantly going past these thresholds. And so on the 29th, the alert stopped coming. Now, one thing that we do use is, if anyone's familiar with Apache Kafka, we use Apache Kafka to distribute this real-time data through the services. Now, usually what I would do, and if I come here and let me see if I can run alerting. Okay. And all of this is deployed this grep's not working. And guys, you know, I'm not good with these kubectl commands. So what you can do actually is, if I go to back to ChatGPT and I come like this, I can make a new chat, and then let's hook this up to terminal. Now I can see terminal, which is really cool. Now I'm just gonna say, hey bro, how are you, dude? Thanks for joining, man. So I'm just gonna say, give me the kubectl command to just look at the last 10,000 lines of the alerts log. Okay, so this is kind of how that speeding works, right? So, and let me just do sleuth. Let's see if we can, hold on, I'm bringing this over here. I don't want to reveal anything sensitive. No real-time data is coming right now, but pretty much this real-time data comes to our system, and we feed this real-time data. I'm doing pretty good, man. Just working on a bug right now. So the speeding alert has been coming for some time, and randomly on November 29th, it stopped coming, and I haven't made any modifications to this part of the code base. I've made modifications to the services that some of this code lives in, but not this directly. So just trying to work through this, and I'm probably going to go out to my car, and we're going to set up some logging and try and figure this out. So let's come back here. So really what happens is we have our listener service that takes in the data, and then that service passes it to our service called alerting. And the alerting service is the service that, and please guys, like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps a lot. But this is the alerting service is the service that handles these alerts. So real-time data comes in, and for instance, for speed, we're checking that real-time data, and so here we can see, okay, if we get a speed of 0 miles per hour, we're running a speeding runner, which is just a service, to go say, all right, is there any data? Does this device have any accounts that have alerts set up, right? And if we have accounts that have alerts set up, we go grab the email, and then we fire off the alert, right? So you can see, and this is in kilometers per hour, but I'm in America, but that's a different story right now. But But anyway, so then this alert comes. So now I'm coming back to Cursor, and let's see here. No code changes occurred in Nest backend or alerts. So those are the two services, right? I've got my listener service, and then I've got alerts between October 26th and December 2nd. It wasn't, oh, that's even earlier. Since the issue started on the strong suggests an environmental configuration or infrastructure failure. So then I did a database credential rotation, right? But the thing is I did that not too long ago. But if I do, namespace, I forget which namespace this service is on. Okay, it's in alerting. Okay, so this was 11 days ago, the age on this pod, right? So, what that means is I pretty much rotated the credentials about 11 days ago. So I rotated the credentials, and then I pulled down a new Docker image 11 days ago. So to me, that means the service would be throwing an error. Like in the logs, if it was trying to connect to the database and it wasn't able to connect to the database, you'd see a bunch of errors in the logging, right? And I don't see that. So this makes me think, okay, alerts is not having trouble connecting to the database, but Cursor doesn't know, so it's good to give me that suggestion. This is fine. This is just an internal IP to communications. Okay, I'm gonna go trigger. Okay, I want you to run a kubectl rollout restart on the Nest service and also the alert service. And then I want you to open the logs and follow them. So let's see what changes it made here. Oh, interesting. So I've never used this debugging thing. So it's some type of agent log. But the thing is this is not local. It's all running in the cloud, right? So... no, I'm not building games. So that's old school RuneScape. That's just me building in the background. So right now, I'm building telematics video, so B2B, right? So right now I'm building a coaching platform to detect, I guess, unsafe driving behaviors, and then trying to distribute learning content to drivers in real time to try to make the roads safer. So I know I'm just do this. This is like a game that I play in the background while the agent's running sometimes. It's like an AFK game away from keyboard. So it doesn't require like a lot of attention, right? And there you can see it got my cell phone there, which is pretty cool. And so this week, if you guys go look at the previous live streams, if you're interested in vibe coding, you can go check out. I literally did this, all vibe coding this, and I did not write a single line of code. Now, this system's a bit more mature, and so some parts of the system I worked with engineers over the years to put pieces of this together. But all of this I vibe coded, and this is all deployed on Kubernetes. So this is every service in Kubernetes. So we're running Postgres, RDS. I'm running Apache Kafka, self-managed inside of the Kubernetes cluster. And Redis, right? A memory database, self-managed inside of the cluster. And so we have a lot of real-time data. And so we use Redis for real-time stuff, right? Like if you set up like an idling alert or something, that's real time. If you set up a speeding alert, real time. So this is kind of what we're working on. And then we got an agents business that we're going to work on together. So this is building a a cognitive wrapper or like a context awareness engine around business workflows. And I have built out all of these microservices, and we're going to do this on stream together. We'll build this microservice by microservice, one microservice at a time together. Right now, let's come back to Cursor and say, okay, I want you to run let's see what it says to this here. Now, the thing about this debug is that it set up these agent logs right now. You know what? I should probably ask ChatGPT here. Let's get this on a different screen. And guys, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps a lot. So here I'm gonna say, does the Cursor debug mode explain agent logs to me and how they work? I have a service that's deployed on AWS EKS, and I have real-time data coming through the network into my cloud services. And I need to see the logs, the Kubernetes logs in real time. Debug mode is setting up this thing called agent logs. Is that only running locally? So when I go drive around my vehicle and I send telematics data to the ELB load balancer and that sends to my Kubernetes cluster, like, it's not going to print in these agent logs, right? Yeah, it's only for local bug reproduction, which is kind of a bummer a little bit, to be honest. But what we're gonna do is we'll just use agent mode. I wanted to use debug mode. I guess debug mode is really when you're in a tight loop locally, right? So I'm just gonna open up another agent here and say, speeding alert recently stopped working. I want you to look at the next service and the alert service. Look at the git commit history. Check the last 20 commits. I want you to look for commit titles that are related to the speeding functionality that we implemented, and then run git show to understand the speeding functionality that we added. Then I want you to trace the flow and make sure that the speeding notification should work as expected, and then explain that flow back to me. This stopped working on November 29th. We're going to have to open up the logs for these services, follow them, and I'm going to have to go drive my car to try to replicate the error. We're going to grep the specific logs for the speeding alert. Oh, there we go. Let's go into agent mode. Let's do this. Look, Cursor has this bug where now I can't move this. Not Cursor, I'm sorry. ChatGPT, this modal that sits in front of other applications, and like right now I can't drag it. I don't know if Cursor's doing something to no, because they're partners with ChatGPT. They wouldn't do that. If you haven't already, guys, please like and subscribe. I can't move this right now. It's stuck. It's happened to me 3 times today. All right. Let's see what it said. So it tried. So this is the thing. Again, I'm going to explain this one more time. I know it's kind of annoying. Hold on. So this is my parent directory, and I need to change this, but this is my parent directory, and it's not a Git repository. But every single directory, like my listener service, is a Git repo, right? My alert service is a Git repo. So, there's a few things, but I can't. One thing is I can't run work tree. Another thing and I need to create an agents file, and I've been meaning to do that. I want to see. I'll just show you the agents file that I'm going to create. And I don't know if I'm going to do this on the stream today. And guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my parent directory a Git repo. And interesting. This wasn't the one I was looking at before. Hold on. Okay, yeah, like here's an idea of a of one that I might use, right? So better one. It's okay, but anyways, we're gonna create an agents file in the main directory at some point. Here we go. This is a better one. Like something like this, where I'm saying, hey, you're in the parent directory. There's a bunch of, and I like microservices because when I hire people, engineers, there's, for me personally, I don't need them to see the entire stack end to end. So anyways, we're going to do that. We're going to set up an agents file. For now, I'm going to say the parent directory is not a Git repository. I want you to go into each subdirectory, which is, each service is its own Git repository. So look for all .git files inside of this directory. Those are all of the services. Then go inside of alert service and the nest TS service or Nest.js service, the listener service, and look for the last 20 commits and look for commits that were related to the speeding changes, and then do some discovery on that. And I want you to understand the speeding changes that we implemented. Now, I probably need to set up my GitHub. Hey, man, how are you? Hey, Atha. What's up, man? How are you? Opus is definitely a bit better at this. And then it just stopped. This has been happening. Hey, bro. Cool, man. If you're interested in vibe coding, dude, just check out the live streams. We're doing a lot here. This is telematics video business, B2B. So building like some really cool safety stuff, using OpenAI models. So detecting objects, detecting the depth of the objects, and then using this to try to, create safety protocols, create safety programs, for fleet administrators or anyone who's responsible for the safety of their fleet. Here you can see it's getting my phone and stuff. And then we're working on the agents business too. And please like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. It helps a lot. It helps a lot, guys. Then we have a reconstruction that we build. So the idea is like when these events happen, we're trying to do event reconstruction, right? Kind of cool. So we do event reconstruction. And then we build this worksheet, right? Like a driver coaching worksheet. So then we try to say, all right, we detected certain objects in the scene, you know, and then we come up with a shared action plan. And we're using LLMs to do this. And the cool thing about this, it's all dynamic, right? So really cool. And then we're going to be working on this agents business, Blue Cactus, which we're going to be building like a cognitive wrapper or a cognitive awareness or a context awareness engine, or like a cognitive wrapper around business workflows using agents, using multi-agent systems for businesses. So it's going to be definitely some cool, fun stuff going down. Now, one thing that's been happening, I think you got stuck. I want you to go review the commits again. Only review commits that have speeding information in the commit title. Gemini 3 Pro, to be honest, the last couple of days, Gemini 3 Flash is working a bit better, but it just kind of gets, it just stops like in the middle of doing work. So it's been kind of hard to use, actually. Okay, here's the trace. Good. It got a permission error trying to... Okay, here's... It's opening up the log. Good. It didn't get the namespace. It got the namespace wrong. Let's see if it can figure it out. A little bit of everything, to be honest. 5.2 feels more intelligent, for sure. Codex, I like it for coding better, right? General stuff, 5.2. 5.2 Codex is good. You know, let me close down. Hold on, I'm gonna close down my Redis session so I don't reveal anything sensitive. But I definitely have Codex too. So what I'll do right now is I'm gonna real quick, I'm gonna say, okay, I want you to very concisely explain this flow and my current issue. I'm gonna pass this to another agent. So I'm actually gonna pass this, grab this, and we're gonna put it into Codex. Just give it to me all one raw text string, no bullets. And I'm about to go out to my car, drive it around. You guys can see the data coming into... We'll see what Codex. Hey guys, if you're new to the stream, and I know I've done this a lot today, but this channel is primarily about vibe coding. If you're interested in vibe coding, you can go check out my other live streams, and also talking about some high-level AI topics. We're working on this safety platform. I'm building like a safety protocol or a safety platform for companies that have fleets of vehicles. So this is a telematics video platform. So this is a mapping system, and we did some of this, like we created these clusters live on stream. So we have these clusters. You can zoom into devices, right? So this is like the mapping screen, and this is 3JS. So this is 3D mapping, right? Which is pretty cool. Then we've got And all of this is deployed on AWS EKS. Then we have trips, right? So we can see events that happen during a trip. And so here you can see, this is actually, one second, sorry, I'm getting a call right now. So anyway, so this is an event, right? So we have dash cameras in the vehicle. They're doing events at the edge. So things like fatigue, distraction, cell phone use. Also, we're detecting things like a hard acceleration, hard turn, erratic lane departure, shock, severe shock. Then we're taking all that context that we have from the edge, and we're doing some post-processing, right, on our back end. So then we're doing object detection, depth estimation on the video, looking for relevant objects. And we're trying to really build more context for like a fleet safety manager. And so we do this, we look for relevant objects, and then we build a coaching report, right? So here you can see, okay, well, this was a driver state monitoring distraction. Not for autonomous. This is not for replacing humans. This is just to help humans be safer. Because really what happens is, unfortunately, if you have like one accident, if you run like a fleet of plumbers and you have one accident that results in a fatality, that can take you out of business. Just the legal cost. Even if your driver's innocent, right? You might have to just go hire a lawyer to defend yourself in court. And just the legal cost can kill you, right? So the idea is that you can use this type of information to exonerate drivers that are behaving safely. And also, you know, like today, if you run a plumbing company and your driver has some infraction, some type of safety event, pretty much you might make him watch like this static content or this video that teaches you how not to speed on the road. And, you know, he might get bored. It's just like busy work, right? But with this, the idea is generating like these dynamic questions for a driver, right? That change every time. Yeah, it's like so the idea with this is I'm building something that I eventually might want to open source parts of it where, you know, really any dash camera, we could ingest video from anywhere. It's not for a specific camera necessarily. So we have this, and so these are like the reflection questions. Then we have a reconstruction, right? So this is a 3D simulation of the event. Let me see if I can find a better one. Let's see. Here's like one where I was turning in here. Oops. So it's pretty cool. And I'm actually the only one in this industry that has this 3D simulation right now, as far as I'm aware. So the idea is eventually maybe even getting the objects, and you can scrub this back and forth. And so, and it's relative, right? So you can see it's slowing down there. That's when I took the turn, which is pretty freaking cool. So you can kind of get an idea, or even if you sit down with the driver, you're going through some training, you can get an idea, you know, your driver, you can get an idea what really happened in the event. You can watch the video, but this gives you even another layer of context on top of that video, right? And then also, guys, we're going to be working on the agents business. So the idea, very quickly, since we got a bunch of new people in the stream, and guys, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps a lot. Not just delivery companies, could be service companies, so like HVAC, plumbers, really anyone that's going to go do a job ticket in the field. And I also have a mobile app, right? So, and just so the stream can see it, let's see. See if Gemini 3 Pro can do this. Let's just start the mobile app so you guys can see it. I want you to start the simulator and then build the mobile app. So we also have a mobile app. And the reason why I brought up the mobile app is we can do like signature capture in the field, right? So it's the safety platform, but there's also a lot of workflow stuff. So, you know, a driver can have our, and let's go start this simulator and then build this real quick. So pretty much the driver could have his phone in the cab of the vehicle and say maybe we could do like use LLMs to generate invoices, so the driver could give the customer an invoice in the field. They could do electronic signature capture and collect that data. Yes, completely vibe coded, my friend. That's kind of strange. Never seen that one. Hold on. I don't think it started Metro. Ooh, I want to undo. Okay. We made some changes, I guess. Okay, I just undid those changes. I want you to build the app again. Please like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. And I vibe coded this entire mobile app. Let's see if Gemini can get it started here. Here we go. Oh. Huh. Very interesting. I did not see this error yesterday. What's happening? I have some background, but I came from a business background. So completely self-taught. I'm not a classical, you know, trained engineer. I don't have a computer science degree. Let's see if we can start it now. I think the Metro bundler, let's see, it should work now. Here we go. Okay, so this is the mobile app, and I brought this up because the idea is that the driver one day... Oh no. It's an API key thing. It's okay, but pretty much there's events, right? So I can look at these events in the mobile app. I rotated my API key, so what's happening is I just undid some changes. It's okay. We'll rotate the API key again, but here's events. So the same events that you'll see in the web app, you can see in the mobile app. Then we actually got live video. My car's not live right now. You have existing footage that you can look at on the mobile app. I think this video's, we removed it maybe because it's been too long ago. I might have deleted it. But I don't want to expose this, but I'm going to say, okay, one of the changes, I undid the API key rotation. Can you go rotate this again? The server sent events GPS stream is not working because we have the wrong API key. No, it's big. The market for vibe coding is 100% big. And I think, you know, everyone thinks coding's dead. I think it's just getting started. I mean, really, we all just have intelligence in our pocket now, right? So, and it's like a utility like water or electricity, right? So, you know, I think we're going to get an increase in goods and services, or like an abundance of goods and services, right? And you know, some people are saying we're not going to have jobs. and one day we're just going to have like universal basic income. I'm not exactly sure about that and how quickly that'll happen, but I think that, you know, some people are like doomers and they think, you know, energy and compute are going to be the super scarce resource and all of the wealth will kind of centralize to a small group of people. And then other people think, okay, we're going to really, everyone has more intelligence and we're going to enter this world of great abundance of goods and services. And so I think companies are really just going to expand their growth, right? There's some areas where humans will get replaced on certain jobs, right? Things that are very repetitive, like data entry and stuff like that. Yeah. So Amazon has a similar product, and I've actually at some point, you know, been in some, not directly with Amazon, but been in discussions with a company that has a safety product in all last mile delivery vans. I think they're Rivians or something. So anyways, let me come back to Cursor. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Now can you build the app again? Sorry, the API key's just up on Cursor. Okay, now it's not. Let's just okay, I think we built it again. Let's just open this. And guys, on this channel, you know, I'm going up and down the stack. You know, the full stack, right? So we're doing front end, back end, mobile app. So now the map will load. Huh. Let's just kill. Okay, can you kill Metro and kill the simulator and then let's start again? I think the old one's hashed or something. Okay, just want to show you guys this mobile app, and then we're gonna move back to that bug. I know I've been jumping around a lot. Just want to, if we can't get this on this try, we might move on. I just want to show you the main mapping. Let's see. And hey guys, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do that. It helps really push out the content to more people. Yeah, no, this is built myself. I've worked with people that have worked for me. But you know, I no partners. Nice, we didn't get the error. Boom. Okay. So this is pretty much the same kind of a limited version of this, right? So we have mapping and some of the functionality in the mobile app. But the reason why I brought the mobile app is because one day we might you know, like do like electronic signature capture or do more with the phone. So not only right now the mobile app is like for back-end administrators, but we may make this a mobile app also for drivers, right? So a driver can log in, maybe do some driver ID stuff like that. So for now, we're going to go back to this bug. Okay. So here's the speeding alert logic flow, right? So you've got, we ingest the live track data. It hits our listener service, which is one microservice. And remember, we've got a lot of microservices, right? So if I come, We've got you've got Nest, which is our listener service. That service takes in the data. It's like serialized binary. It unserializes it, and then it passes it to our service called the alerts service, which goes to go check Postgres to see, okay, is there alerts set up? What are the alerts that are set up? What email address are those alerts associated with, right? And then we send that to the communication service, and the communication service sends the email. So, we're gonna come back here, and what I'm gonna do is come back to cursor, and I'm gonna say, okay, did you open and follow the logs for alerts? My other log of the next TS service is printing the API key. Unfortunately, I need to stop that. So I can. Yeah, just run kubectl to check all namespaces, find the namespace of the alert service, and then follow those deployment logs. There we go. Found the service, or found the pod. Okay. All right. So now if I come back to terminal, okay. So let's see if it opened up the log. It got the log open. Now I've got Apache Kafka, the sleuth service open too, right here. And so I'm gonna go, not every day, but I'm trying to do it more consistently. You know, definitely, as the audience grows, I want to try to build the community. So my idea is eventually I'm going to get the Discord going, kind of build a chat in there so we can all talk to each other, learn from each other. You know, if you're working on a project and you have some curiosity or you're stuck, you know, I'm not gonna be answering like a million questions a day, right? But if you come to me with a focused question, I'm happy to help. Actually, I enjoy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go run to my car real quick, and we should start to see data printing to this log. So let me pull up OBS. Where's OBS? Okay. Just gonna do a I used to have a BRB. Let's see if I can add it. Text. Where's the size? Sorry guys, 1 second here. I think this is okay, probably. Let me just move that. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go run to my car real quick. So hopefully you're gonna see data start coming into this Apache Kafka data coming into this sleuth log, and also some data coming into the alerting log. So I'm gonna go run to my car real quick. I wish I had a way to show you guys live video too, but I don't want to put too much. Let's see. Hold on. Let's get the simulator open. Simulator's a little too big, actually. Hold on. I might be able to put it like right here. Let's put it. You know what? We'll show the live video later. Let me just go run to my car now. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on, I'm gonna leave my headphones here. Hey guys. Hey guys, I'm back. Hey guys. Hey guys. Can you hear me? Hold on. Testing. Hey guys. Hey, I'm back. So awesome. We got some data in the logs. So I saw the Apache Kafka data coming in. And we can see in the Apache Kafka data that, look, the speed is coming in. So we know, at first I thought maybe I do have some partners. I know someone asked what vibe coding means. Cool, Channel 6 news guy. Thanks for being here, man. Please like and subscribe and you'll learn a lot about vibe coding. You know, I've been vibe coding for a while now, and honestly, it really changed my life. Now, there are some dangers to vibe coding, and we'll definitely talk about those on this stream too. But if you're interested in learning about vibe coding, you're at the right spot. So then I can see and hear in this log that no emails returned. So I'm going to say, okay, I took a test drive and I see data in the log. Review the data in the log and let's understand what happened. Oh, let me take off the BRB, guys. Sorry. Nice. Interesting. It ran this acquire command to grep the contents of this cursor terminal. Kind of cool. Okay, let's see. Okay. It identified the correct user, so that's my email address. Or it was already sent. It was already sent, so the system suppresses it. Appeared to be stuck. Interesting, man. Like, okay, so the way that it works is so how does a TTL key just get stuck? If anyone knows anything about Redis, I really would like to hear your thoughts on that. I mean, that's got me seriously interested. Because I was logged into Redis, and I don't want to log into Redis right now because it's going to expose my password. I use this Redis execute command to log into the, to one of the Redis pods, the master pod, and it'll expose my password. But I already looked for the prefix, and it's not in Redis. So I'm going to say, what is the command again? Don't give me the command to execute into the Redis shell, but once I'm in the Redis shell, give me the command to run inside of the Redis shell to check for that prefix. Guys, I know this stuff is kind of boring a little. Not boring, but I actually enjoy it. It's like a puzzle. But, you know, debugging's not fun. But like this, what's really interesting about this is this is one of those bugs where, I've been working on other stuff. And so eventually the speeding alert just stopped coming. And I'm like, why did it stop coming? And I didn't notice it until last night, actually. Then I noticed it last night, and I got kind of nervous because I'm like, oh crap, is there this like regression related to vibe coding? And so that really is scary, right? Because what happens sometimes is if you're not reviewing every single line, and now I have bug bot through Cursor, but if you're not reviewing every line of that code, sometimes the AI model will say, hey, I did XYZ, but it did W too, or whatever, right? But it didn't tell you it did W. Then if you just promote that code and you don't review it, you're in trouble at that point. So there's not a lot of keys. So I'm just going to open up. I'm going to do it on a different screen, guys. I'm going to log into Redis. Let's see what Codex said too. So I gave Codex the exact problem. And it said, check the Kubernetes manifest in the repo. Okay. I want you to review the commits in these services and look for any commits that might have introduced breaking changes. And we kind of know what the change is. And then let me log in, guys. I'm going to log into Redis here. And Redis, guys, is a memory database. So you've got SQL database. Then you've got like, and I'm not a database expert, but then you've got like object storage, which is not like a relational database. And then you've got a memory database for speed. So like this type of operation where there's lots of live data coming in and we need to be constantly checking for these keys and values. Redis is good for that. It's good for like real-time data. Oh, wow. Hey, Atha, you have a good one, man. Get some good rest. Thanks for joining the stream. Okay, so I'm going to open up Redis here. Okay, I'm in Redis. And let me run this command. Which is crazy. So this is in Redis. Okay, so how is this possible right now? The Redis key is not in Redis. So it thinks there's an alert. Or it thinks this key is inside of Redis. And so it won't send a new alert. I mean, I'm trying to understand how this is even possible. What did it say? It's impossible. Oh, I might not be logging into master. Thank you. Give me the command to check the master. So I'm running Sentinel. If anyone's familiar with you might be familiar with this, but we have for availability, we have 3 Redis pods and 3 Sentinel pods. And what these Sentinels do is they're constantly checking availability. And if the like one of these pods is the master, if the master goes down, it will promote a different pod to master, and this is good for availability. 100% at the dude. You're early, my friend. Early, dude. I'm a lot older than that, man. A lot older than that. I'm still coding. I feel like I'm just getting started, you know. And I'm feeling good. So I mean, if you're that young, dude, you got an edge for real. Okay, so I want the command to check the master. Can I run this command in the Redis CLI? Okay. Okay, let's just do roll. I'm in the master. Dude, what the hell? Guys, I'm running this in Redis in a different screen just because I don't want to expose my Redis. Cool, man. It's impossible. I know it's a Gemini video, but we're gonna have Opus look at this. I want you to review this. This almost seems impossible. First thing it says is the user's right. It does seem impossible. Maybe it's because I reboot Redis? No, but when I reboot, none of the keys disappear. I mean, I have to update Kubernetes, and when I update Kubernetes, all the pods reload. Huh. Really weird. Why is the local version important, though? This is a service that's running on AWS EKS in the cloud. It connects to Sentinel, which connects to the master node or the master pod. But I mean, the theory that this is connecting to a different Redis is is like impossible. What you can do is in the alerts repository, check out to main and pull main to see what's deployed in the cloud. Had to switch to Opus for a second, guys. Let's see if there's some PR that that I didn't merge, but I don't think so. No. This is so weird. I don't want to just change the prefix because so interesting. Go look at the commits to this service on November 29th or around November 29th. Something must have happened on November 29th, maybe. And hey guys, for the Twitch viewers, I think there's some new people that just joined on Twitch, but we're working on this telematics video platform. So you can see the location of vehicles. You can see location history of these vehicles. See when events happened. Review the events. So this is like an on-edge distraction event. So now, and we also built this coaching platform. So this is something I'm really excited about, is this coaching. So this is really AI analysis on safety events. But anyways, I got a pretty serious bug right now that I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I guess just check out to a new branch and then make a minor change to force a rebuild, commit that, and then push to origin. First, before we do this, I mean, I almost don't want to just rebuild it yet. I mean, I feel like that's a... I should be able to find this alert ID in Postgres, right? Oh. My brain. I don't even know how to write this command. Weird, man. This alert's not even in the database. This speeding alert is not even in the database. But this uses the same alert ID that we store in a Postgres, right? So I should see that alert in Postgres, and then we should also see, I guess, the alert ID with the prefix in Redis. Is that right? Guys, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps a lot. I mean, I already did that. I wish I could show you guys Redis on stream. Oh, I found it. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. No, this alert. Okay, no, this alert is in Postgres. Give me the command to check for the prefix in Redis. Maybe you gave me the wrong Redis command to look for the TTL Redis key. Guys, if you're new here, this is the telematics video platform that we're working on right now. We do location, events, right? Location history. It's a dash camera in the vehicle. So we can look at like trip history, look at events. And this is using AI models at the edge to look for distraction. So here I am turning my head like this. So it's detecting that as a distraction. And then we're building out, we can request footage. Right now I'm working on our speeding alert. Somehow there is some issue with the speeding alert. Not exactly sure how it happened, but there is an issue with speeding. And then we have our coaching platform. So we essentially take these safety events, and then we do an AI analysis on them. So we take whatever context we have from the edge, we take our video, then we do some post-processing, so some AI analysis on that video, on all the channels, every channel of the camera. So here you can see it's detecting me in the car. I'm pulling out my cell phone. It's going to get my cell phone. And then we're using this information along with this simulation. And then we build a coaching report, right? So here was phone. It said I was on my phone 5.71% of the time, and it gave me a distraction rating, which is pretty cool. Then it tells me all the objects that were detected, and then we build some questions for the driver, some learning content for the driver. So back to cursor. Okay, I'm running this command inside the Redis CLI. I mean, dude, there's no keys. Huh. Weird. If anyone knows anything about Redis, okay, detail exactly what's going on in a very concise way. Give it to me in one raw text string so I can pass it to another agent. You know, this is maybe one of those times where I might use Worktree for multiple agents to work on the same thing to see if any of the agents have another idea. Let me put this into Codex real quick. Let's just open Codex here. Let's see what Codex says. So still working on this bug, guys. So kind of what's happening at a high level is we have these TTL. I am streaming right now. I want to explain to my audience the exact functionality of this feature. Explain what Redis TTL is, what Redis is, and I guess how these expire. And I guess what the very strange bug that's happening right now is. It made some changes. Hold on. I should have told it not to make changes. So let's see what it said. Yeah, so well, all it did was it changed the prefix to the key. It changed the name of the prefix, but that doesn't really solve my problem. Yeah, but you just changed the prefix. I'm really trying to understand. This almost feels like it's impossible. I don't understand how the code thinks the prefix is in Redis, and the code is connecting to Redis. But I just don't understand how, if it's not in Redis, how the code thinks that that prefix is in Redis. Make sure, go look at the other services that are connecting to Redis and make sure we're connecting to Redis in a similar fashion. I know that we are, but I just want you to double check. It thinks there's a prefix for all these different alert IDs. Codex. I'm gonna send this log to Codex. If anyone knows anything about Redis, just let me know in the chat. It's a very strange problem right now. Yeah, so I have so what's happening right now is so we have alerts, right? And these alerts are using a memory database called Redis. So we have live data that comes into our system, and then we use these TTL keys that expire in Redis. So it's a speeding alert for a threshold of 35 miles per hour. So when I'm driving in my car and I go over 35 miles per hour, we send an email notification that looks like this. And then we put a key into Redis that has an expiration of 5 minutes. And the reason for that is if I drive over 35 miles per hour, I'll start to continually get email alerts because we're literally sending data every 5 seconds on this platform. And so to prevent sending an alert every time you get a piece of data that has a speed higher than the threshold, you'd get an alert. To prevent that, I use these key values that have an expiration in Redis. But what's happening now is I took a drive around in my car and I looked at the logs, and the logs for some reason are checking Redis for these keys that have a prefix, and for some reason Redis is returning saying that it sees that key, or it has that key in the system, and then our code doesn't send another alert. So, and this randomly started happening on November 29th. Now, which is really strange. So, I mean, even the model is a little confused, and I've already checked Redis. I don't have the Redis CLI up here, but I already checked Redis, and the keys aren't in Redis. Yeah, so this will actually explain it to you right here. Here's the feature. Yeah, we built a feature that detects when a driver exceeds a specific speeding threshold. So Redis, we're using Redis, which is a memory database. We write a lock key into Redis. If yes, it means we just annoyed the manager. Suppress the alert. Do nothing. If no, send the email. Here's where it gets crazy. Our speeding alert stopped working, right? In the log, this service is connecting directly to Redis, and then Redis is saying, okay, the key has a lock on it. Crazy. Well, you changed the prefix name today, right? Or when was the prefix name change? Hey, Cosmic. Wow, man. That's late, dude. Like and subscribe, man, and then get some rest, and then come back on next stream. Sometimes I stream earlier in the day. I'm going to try to start streaming earlier in the day during the weekdays. I'm going to see if I can... One second, guys. Think deeply about this. Think of all possible scenarios. I already ran the command to check for the Redis key. Give me the Redis command again to run at the Redis CLI to check for the key. So, I'm gonna actually have cursor log directly into Redis here. I want you to log in to Redis. Just do it from the terminal. Okay, let's go to Ghost, dude. Check the Docker file. All it's saying is just force a rebuild. Okay, go ahead, check out to a new branch, commit the change, and push to origin, and then GitHub Actions will build the Docker file, and then I'll merge it. Wait, oh. There are some changes, though, that we made to the code to change the prefix, but I don't want to keep these. I want you to undo the change where we modified the prefix. We shouldn't have to do that. I'll do it in cursor over here. All right, I just made the commit. One thing I am going to show you guys today before I may end the stream a little early today, but let's see. We come to alerts, pull request. So we're literally about to just force a rebuild here. I'm going to create the pull request. Then you can see here, we're going to have two checks that are going to run. Oh, here's the cursor bug bot. So, pretty cool actually. And cursor's also going to leave us a message. Yeah, it's just a comment, so I really don't need it to run, but we'll let it run just for the stream. And please like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. It helps a lot. Let me see if... You know, X needs to do something because I can't see the chats on X, and I need to find a better way to review these chats. But anyway, so okay, BugBot ran. Let's go ahead and merge this, and then let's go to Actions. And here's the Docker image. So once this is done, we're going to just do a kubectl rollout restart. Should build pretty quickly. Almost done here. So why did you want to redeploy? It's because everything, according to the code, this should work, right? Really strange. Sometimes when there's issues like this, it's literally build it again. But so what exactly could have been cached? I guess this response saying that they're suppressed. Okay, after this, guys, I'm probably going to do a kubectl rollout restart, and then I got to go drive my car again to test this. So I'm probably going to end the stream here, but we'll be doing more streaming. Let's go to our to-do list. I know we didn't really write it out, but I'm going to say identified that the code is accurate for speeding bug. Live track data is coming with valid speed. No TTL keys in Redis, but getting suppress response. Really weird. We'll have to do this to the next stream. Okay, done. Go ahead and do a rollout restart on the alerts deployment. And then I want you to open and follow the alerts logs, or just open the alerts logs and see if it connected to Redis successfully. Can you search the web? Is there not a web? I saw someone online like use web or something to search the internet. Huh. What does this do? Oh. Can you search the web for anyone having a related issue? Or just this Redis TTL issue? All right, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I really want to figure out this issue. So again, I mean, if you like this stream, please like and subscribe. You know, this was heavy on the debugging side. A really strange issue where our application code is accessing Redis without a problem. And Redis is saying that there's keys that exist inside of Redis that don't exist. So, you know, right now I'm rebuilding our application code, restarting it. Even the AI models are a bit confused about this one. I tried to use cursor debug mode, but it's only local, right? So this system's deployed in the cloud, and when I test it, I actually go into my vehicle and drive around to generate telematics data. You know, I'm going to go offline and try and work on this a little bit more. I don't want to bore you guys with this one too much. It's kind of heavy duty. But on the next stream, we should be able to do something that's a little more fun. Hopefully. If I come over to... if I come to reports, I'll just quickly show you. I just drove the car around today, and you can see here's the 20th. I got a driver ID today. Interesting. Huh. Oh, they might be sending me the original picture. Interesting. Yeah, so I did get a driver ID today when I took that drive. So I'm just curious now about this. Yeah, the driver ID got a match. Nice. Okay. Cool. So we're going to be working on building a front end for this driver ID stuff. Hey, Grendy. I'm about to get off, unfortunately. I see you on Twitch there. Thanks for joining. I stream on Twitch, but also YouTube. I guess Twitch, when I'm done with the stream, you can go watch it back. But if you're interested in vibe coding, this is the stream for you, or interested in like AI topics and discussions that are interesting. I like to give my commentary on anything that I find meaningful. So if you're interested in AI stuff, vibe coding, this is the right spot for you. And please like and subscribe or follow. It helps a lot. But I'm going to be ending the stream today. I want to work on this bug a little bit offline. But just want to say thanks to anyone that did join. Good stream today. Not the most flashy, sexy stream, but you know, this stream is, we really got deep on debugging, opening up logs, handling debugging inside of Kubernetes. So lots of cool stuff and lots of fun stuff moving forward. But anyways, thanks to anybody that watched through this whole thing. I appreciate that a lot, and I'll see you on the next stream.